Hello everyone, welcome back to the Haggis Cup. Today, me and Tom have joined together to cast one of the first battles of the tournament. The teams are as follows: Tigersharkwoo and Fobitros, team name NTW Sucks, and both of them are playing as the French Empire, versus Coronaman and Mr.Slothman, team name the Danish Devils, playing as Russia and Prussia. The map is Poland 4A, a very solid map with built-in artillery redoubts for both sides. We're going to be watching from the perspective of NTW Sucks. Currently, the bracket is empty, with only the Kings of Pega winning their game against the Westphalia Stormtroopers Grenadiers. You can watch this battle here. It's the last video on my channel. You can also watch Stomach and Middleguard's POV over on Tomic's channel, and I highly recommend you go give it a watch. The winners of this battle will advance to fight Baguettes and Bayonets, a team that's very well known for its players' abilities and teamwork. In this battle, you will see just how effective combined assaults are, and how important it is to work well as a team. As always, there will be mistakes from both sides, and some blunders, but to remind you all, these players are very new to the mod they are playing, and they are trying their best. So let's see some positivity in the comments for both teams. Right, that's enough for me. Let's head over to live casting Dan and Tom.
Interesting.
Oh wow, super small armies.
Yeah, really small.
Wonder why. Did they play medium funds? Or did they just...
See, I haven't really got any. I mean, you got Guard Imperial, but you can only choose 2 elites, right?
Yeah, no, France does have a couple more.
Oh, really? Maybe
Oh, wait, yeah, no, I'm seeing Guard, VL, so he's got Old Guard, he's got the Middle Guard, he's got a bunch of the better light infantry.
Look how much cav the French players have. My cavalry. Goodness Christ, that's probably why they haven't got enough.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Now I'm seeing the Young Guard skirmishers. Yeah. No, they've went for entirely the expensive French infantry on that side. Actually, on both sides. Wow. This might be a medium funds. Actually, I'm not sure. Actually,
whatever it is, it's gonna be fun.
You're going to battalions. You're going to battalions.
No, a lot of artillery. He's only gone for a 4-pounder horse on the right. What's on the left? He's gone for a 6-pounder foot.
3 6-pounders. Yeah.
Not ideal, really, but
So
I mean, if you go for a heavy push.
So much cavalry.
They both bought Cuirassier to reserve, or was there only one?
Just the right army. Regular Cuirassiers for the other. Actually, no, 2 units of Cuirassier. But yeah, no, super small armies. I mean, this is
you're going for a heavy push. Right?
But the thing is,
how much?
I think this is medium funds, because yes, they did spend a lot for cavalry, but it's only really heavy cav that's very expensive, and also the better artillery, like 12-pounders. And neither of them have those 12-pounders. And also the Russian and Prussian armies have around the same numbers as them. So this is like, I think they both have about 4,000 men, and the Russians and Prussians also have around that. So
what's interesting as well on the right here is that look at these light infantry that the French have bought. Quite a lot of light infantry.
A wall of light infantry. Actually, that is most of their line. In fact, that is their entire line other than the Cologne attack.
They've got grenadiers, yeah.
Did they actually bring any elite infantry? No. They actually
That's an odd choice.
I don't think they realized.
Unless these guys are elite infantry, but I don't see any.
No, they aren't.
He's got Cuirassier to reserve, but he's going to have to use that as an elite, which is going to be kind of restricting on his ability to actually use them as a regular unit. But
and
we'll see.
That light infantry as well. Some of those units obviously are better at shooting because they're smaller, but some of those units being 190 men instead of 210 as well means that they're seriously losing out in the manpower for those guns. And also, light infantry have less ammo than line infantry, so they might run out of ammo quicker.
This is a Russian gun map. If the Russians can get these gun positions all locked up with the 10-pound unicorns. Oh, I've started. I'm just going to put. I haven't. Dang it, sorry. The Russians locked up with these 10-pound unicorns.
Yeah, I mean, I've one unicorn shot, like one howitzer shot even, in the middle of one of these units is like a quarter of their army. So, they really need to be careful. I mean, it's a lot of cavalry. It's a lot of cavalry.
We've gone for a Lanz and we've gone for a Napoleon on the left, probably for the best if he's going to go for a big push.
Yeah,
with morale,
but yeah, no, it's going to be very interesting. Also, this map's really fun because of the redoubts for the artillery. So if you remember
Yeah.
when we fought, I used the redoubts against you, and you used the redoubts against me. Very
Yeah.
solid for artillery. The only problem being that the biggest poundage gun for
Yes,
the French is a
6.
6-pounder, which means that yes,
No.
they can deploy them there, but if the enemy doesn't
Yeah.
walk towards them, they're never going to see them.
And also the Russians are going to have their 6 unicorns sitting just behind the lip of these hills, just doing
Yeah.
damage, and they're not going to have any counter battery to worry about, which is really worrying for the French.
Yeah, this is looking a bit like an NTW3 battle with the amount of men we've got.
Yeah, it's like a Rush army or something, but the Russians, they're facing Russian gun positions.
Yeah.
It could be a very costly assault.
Yeah, that's why I'm pretty sure that this is definitely medium funds. There's no way this is a large fund battle. It's impossible to bring this.
He also hasn't shoved any of his units, so yeah, I agree with you.
Yeah. Plus, I mean, if you bring large funds, you're almost guaranteed to see a 12-pounder somewhere.
Yeah.
Especially on a map with redoubts like this, where you can fire across the map. There's a video on the old FCN official channel where it was a combined arms game, where it was one player brings artillery, one player brings cavalry, one player brings the infantry, and you go up against another combined arms army. And it was fought in this map, and there was combined arms where the artillery player took all of the redoubts and had their artillery on them, and their guns got so many kills because they kept like blasting directly up units and getting crazy enfilade.
Yeah.
Such a fun battle to watch.
What's going to be interesting as well is there's a 2-pointer on this map on the far bottom right.
Yep.
And there's a 2-pointer for LOCs.
Yeah, it's really going to
And
be
the
an
Russians.
interesting one for LOCs.
If the Russian can take that, all they need is another 3, and then they've got, they only needed 2 in front of them, and then they're pretty solid.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's really going to come down to who takes that 1-pointer in the middle. Just because, I mean, the Russians are kind of destined to get that left point and also the far right, like bottom right point, just because they're a little bit closer to it. But like the French players are going to get the 1-pointers kind of in the middle area, and that's going to kind of outrank the Russians.
Thing is, though, if the French players sit and defend those pointers, even if they get the 2 pointers, they're going to be defending against unicorns and have no counter battery options.
Yep.
So they're going to have to rely on their cavalry really to try and take them down. That's worrying against Russian infantry squares, but we'll see.
Yeah, we'll
Especially
see.
light infantry as well. Yeah.
I'm interested to see what the unicorns do in this, because unicorns are going to be crazy strong. But if they're sitting on medium funds, then it means that they're going to have a very small army, just because their unicorns are so expensive.
That's true. That's true. You may not even bought them. I mean, that'd be crazy, but
Maybe.
you might have bought one.
Maybe not brought them. I mean, they're so useful in a map like this where... Because the thing with a howitzer is... The reason why I always balance a howitzer with a regular artillery is, yes, your regular artillery can do a lot of damage with round shot and a lot of damage with canister. You're never really guaranteed kills with it, because obviously you need to micromanage it and see where the shots are going. And sometimes you get a really good shot where it hits multiple ranks.
Yeah.
But with a howitzer, even if you just get near where you're hoping to hit, either one, it's going to land in the middle of the unit and blow up and kill 100 men, or the shrapnel from the shot, even if it just lands somewhere close to what you want to hit, the shrapnel is just going to kill a couple of men. And over an hour-long battle, if you keep aiming at the same place and you've got more than one gun firing at that place, you're going to slowly kill, and it's going to add up, and it's going to add up, and it's going to go from, the unit losing 5 men to a unit losing 50. It's just going to slowly add up to the point where it's done the damage, and that's why it's better than round shot cannon sometimes. So unicorn would be
And that's if it doesn't get a direct hit.
Exactly.
If it gets a direct hit, you can get 150 kills, as we saw last replay.
Yeah, they do a
against the
lot
Americans.
of damage. They're very strong. But we're gonna have to see how this goes. Has the battle started for you yet?
Oh yeah, no, I'm waiting.
Yeah, me neither.
It should be any second now, hopefully.
Really should be. They've both got some quite small armies, so I'd be surprised if it took much longer. Like, this is probably the time where they were saying to each other, like, are you guys ready? You guys ready?
What do you think the Prussians would have bought?
It's a good question. I reckon the Prussians... What I'm hoping from the Prussians is maybe a 12-pounder, because they've got a 3-gun... Actually, I don't think they do. But they have a really strong 12-pounder selection. They've also got some decent heavy cav. So I'm hoping at least one heavy cav, at least one 12-pounder from either Russian or Prussian. And I'm hoping... Oh, they've just spawned in for me. I'll pause. But I'm really hoping that this Prussian army has gone for a line infantry army, because that line infantry army can probably match the French and beat them in a gunfight. And the Russians, well, we all know what the Russians are going to bring. They're going to bring a lot of men. But it's going to be the most interesting part of this is going to be the cavalry engagement.
It is. Have you paused or
yeah,
you
yeah,
not
paused?
Okay, we count us down, and I've paused a bit as well.
Okay, do you see, if you hold space, do you see that the French have moved cavalry? Deploy them in the middle. Okay, right. In that case, 3, 2, 1, go.
All right, here they go.
Here we go.
French attack columns moving forward.
Looks like the Prussians are going to be on the left and the Russians on the right. We've got Kutuzov leading the Russian army, and we've got Blucher leading the Prussians. It's going to be really annoying to see those two different factions very quickly.
Interesting, the Russians not really going for the 2-pointer. At least it doesn't look like they are.
Yeah, doesn't really look like they are. Although, to be fair, they could probably just advance their armies forwards and see where it goes. But
we don't know.
With the size of armies they've got, though, I don't know.
Yeah, it's risky to spread out too much, I suppose. Yeah, you're right.
Oh, wow.
This building has fallen to the enemy.
The French being very, very ambitious with how far forwards they're going to be getting. Basically hoping to deploy their guns in front of the Prussians, which is never going to happen.
Yeah, Russian Cossacks have taken the house in the centre as well, which will hold them up briefly, so they can't just breeze through there.
Yep, they're going to have to send something into that house to hopefully kill those guys, but we'll never know exactly what happens with those guys. They might disappear or not. We've got some Russian light cav moving into the forest on the right side. Looks like...
I see, I'm looking for Russian Cossacks, but I don't see any yet.
Yeah, I don't think they could really deploy anywhere behind...
I'm not sure why he's running these troops here. Yeah, it's not ideal from the Russian player.
Might just be trying to get there quickly, but yeah.
Oh, French are moving fast as well, though. That's just happened. Oh no, they are charging cavalry forward.
Yeah, I think they're going for a very early cav screen, but their cavalry's tired already.
You don't want to be tiring your cav out, especially if you're dragoons or heavy cav, really.
Yeah, to be fair,
this
French side definitely turned out to a lot more of the practice matches. I think they've got a little bit more time under their belts. I'm pretty sure the Russians and Prussians didn't really turn up for too many of them, which might explain why they are running their cavalry.
Yeah, French
cavalry
still fresh. Russian cavalry are winded and very tired. So
here. Whatever cavalry engagement happens here, I would be astonished if the French lost it just with the amount of men they have.
Amount of cavalry they have, yeah.
At least the French have realised that was a insane amount of confidence going that far forwards and have pulled their guns back. So they're going to actually deploy on the redoubt in front of them.
Thank goodness.
Some more Russian cavalry, Lifeguard, Cuirassier, and regular Cuirassier. So we have a regular Cuirassier unit, just a very solid base Cuirassier unit, although I will say the Russian Cuirassiers are slightly better than most factions. And Her Majesty's Lifeguard Cuirassiers obviously being a slightly upgraded version of them.
Oh, and another St. Petersburg Dragoon coming in. We're going for a huge cavalry engagement to start with. Very ambitious of the Russians to try and take it on
I don't think they realise...
Oh my goodness, artillery.
Oh! Not really hitting much other than that one Chevalier battalion.
Yeah, I think they were just below the lip of the hill and managed to pull across that river.
I wasn't sure about it. That's why I cut myself off earlier. But the Prussians do in fact have a 3-gun 12-pounder battery, and thankfully the Prussians brought them, so they have got a 6-gun battery in that redoubt. That is a great position to have artillery as well.
Yeah, it really is, and it outranges all of the French guns.
I am seeing a large Why did everybody bring so much cavalry? Wow!
St. Petersburg Dragoons. You've got Russian Cossack Lancers. Not really using our cavalry to the best form that they were designed for. We've got Russian light cav mixed with medium, mixed with heavy. I mean,
we're gonna see how this goes, but
French cavalry splitting up a bit more. Oh, and French artillery, I think, are deploying
Very nicely
against
on that
the cavalry.
reserve. Oh, the redoubt they've deployed very nicely on. A little bit of a worry though that furthest right 4-pound horse artillery is kind of.
It's just not going to be in range of anything.
It's not going to be in range of anything, and also it's a little bit too far back, so it's actually it's cut off from shooting on the left. Although to be fair, it's not going to be doing any shooting on the left.
Oh, charge somewhere.
There's 12-pounders over there. Yeah, I'm seeing that too. It looks like, ooh, I think that's a Cuirassier charge in the Lancers.
Oh yeah, in the middle here.
Yeah, the charge yell. I think the charge yell slightly gave it away there, because they've immediately pulled.
Yeah, he's charging them too far. He should pull him back, which he does.
And the Russian
Ooh,
hussars.
a massive artillery shot coming in as
Russian
well.
hussars on the right side, running in the forest, going to be cut off by a Chevalier Lancer.
Very tired as well.
Very tired. That unit is going to die.
That Chevalier, if I can get a charge in now, perfect timing, and there's actually one behind it as well.
Oh wow, that is another unit of Prussian artillery on the right side. A third unit of reserve artillery.
Wow, he's really hitting that hard.
And they are firing at the Dragoons battalion.
Oh my goodness, the Russian Hussar got the charge on the Lancer.
Oh, that changes things a little bit.
Oh, it still breaks very tired, yeah.
I do want to point something out. There is a very unfortunate thing that has happened over here where sometimes cavalry can glitch if you walk them through a house. And the Prussians have had 2 units of hussars consumed by the house. So that's 2 units of hussars that have been swallowed whole, very sadly. Really annoying glitch.
Oh, I see. They've just dismounted, haven't they? Oh, no, they haven't.
No, they are trapped inside the walls of a house. They are
occupied
absolutely
the same way as they should have done.
They're crammed into the corner of the house with their swords raised, ready to fight something. It's a strange move from the Prussians.
It's strange, very strange.
Garrisoning a house with cavalry.
French artillery opening up, but they are hitting the lip of this hill, and so the shots just wildly.
They've not deployed their artillery onto the edge of the redoubt to actually fire over. They've in fact deployed them in the redoubt.
Look at this French cavalry coming behind though. Look at this battalion of hussars, unspotted and on the road, moving fast. Looking out for that Russian general snipe, I think. All the Prussian artillery. If they don't defend with anything.
No, the French artillery not hitting anything, luckily, but the French 6-pounders that have been deployed a little bit into a river, nearly shooting their own men. They shot into the floor, kind of hit the ground. Oh, 12-pounders, Russian 12-pounders. Moving really far up for some reason.
My goodness, yeah, they're in range.
Russia!
3 12s.
Russia, they're 12-pounders! Pull them back! They're 12-pounders! You're walking them into 4-pounders. You've got range!
I think that's a mistake. Because he's pulling them back. Oh Lithuanian guard taking no casualties from that.
That was
what's he doing?
Close. They didn't take any casualties because I think they're slightly out of the range of the enemy. But that shot bouncing in between the units of 12-pounders, that is crazy.
Oh, here's the Prussians. Prussian infantry. Look at the French on the left are pushing into nothing. So, I mean,
it is still quite a large French force, to be fair, to be going up against this Prussian and Russian army. But I've got to say, I kind of prefer this Russian and Prussian army build just because they've gone for a little bit more skirmishers. Admittedly, though, they haven't put their skirmishers in light infantry formation. A little bit of a tip to do that. But they also have got Prussian musketeers, which are very solid shooting units. They can probably beat this French army in a gunfight, even though they've got slightly better units.
Not if they stack them up like that, Prussia.
They need to thin them out.
We had this problem before last battle.
Also, a light infantry has taken the house off of those Cossacks.
Really?
Yes.
Oh, over the middle.
Yes.
I was gonna say.
It looks like the French player has realised their mistake with their 6-pounders and are lumbering to move them.
Yeah.
Wow. Shots.
Russian artillery, I think, is moving back into position, or is he moving them somewhere else?
He is moving them somewhere else. Admittedly, he's probably fine because those 4-pounders are not hitting anything.
Not really a very good position.
Saying that, the French player on the redoubt has actually realised their mistake and has limbered one of their guns to move them forwards.
Yeah. 4-pounder is only good for some sort of charge.
Charge going somewhere. Oh no, Prussia! Prussia, no! He's charging the Voltigeurs from far away. Luckily enough, his Ulan's not actually killing the Russians, which is something that is supposed to happen. If you charge from behind your own units, you can kill your own men. Reaching the skirmishers, though, that is an expensive unit of skirmishers.
It is a Voltigeur. The 100 men taking it down. Oh, it actually breaks. Oh, the French shooting their own Voltigeurs. And the Russian cavalry.
They've got their own cavalry countercharging. However, this time it does actually happen. Their men charging into the back of their own men, killing 10 soldiers.
Not really sure what the messy engagement there from both sides.
The Prussians needing to thin their men. Oh, the artillery though.
Oh my gosh.
Wow. Yes, a mistake from the Prussians here, where they've got their men far too thick.
Russians as well, to be honest.
Yeah. So
unless they're going for a melee push.
It looks like the Russians have got no reserves. They've also not got their Lithuanian guards or any of their elites kind of in the back line as a reserve, which means that they've just got a very thick line.
Russian dragoons entering the woods on the French right. Sorry.
Yep. Some dragoons.
Not sure what he's doing.
The men are running.
Ooh, 4-pounder taking off the heads of some St. Petersburg dragoons there.
Wow, good shot.
I don't think Russia has any backline.
Another cavalry charge from the Prussian hussars going for the Voltigeurs. They're not going to reach them this time though, because they are protected by some.
Here comes the Russian dragoons in the woods. They're going for a allied Italian light infantry battalion and then just stop.
Oh, do the French see it?
Odd.
Do the French see it?
Come on, form a square.
The French don't see it. Although, to be fair, the dragoons are massacring their own Uhlans.
Oh my gosh! Just destroyed their own unit in front of them.
Shattering the Uhlans, actually.
Shattering their own cavalry charge.
Shattering their own cavalry charge, and then also charging the routing men for daring to retreat.
Our men are running
after being executed.
I mean, that Prussian allied Italian light infantry getting its money's worth there, I think.
Yep, and they've not even shattered as well. They're going to come back.
Russia still hasn't deployed its 12-pounder foot artillery, and they have French attack columns marching in front 80 men deep right in front of them. Look at how lovely this shot would be down on the right here.
I would tear that in half without a heartbeat.
Look at that. Grenadiers, we've got... Oh my gosh.
Yes,
just needs to deploy his guns.
There's oh no, the Prussians as well. They've not been hit yet, although their general taking some overshot from the artillery. Prussians getting enfiladed. Oh
my gosh, they're really pushing with incredibly thick lines here. But on the right hand side.
One of the Prussians just getting absolutely slammed by the artillery.
He's pushing up his 12-pounders with his infantry, Dan.
Wow.
What's he doing? What's the point of 12-pounders if you're not going to use the range?
Well, I suppose the only reason you would bring a 12-pounder and not use the range is to use the canister, which looks like it's what he's doing. Although on a map with dedicated artillery redoubts, maybe not the best idea.
He needs to hit those 12s if he can hit those 12s.
His men are getting hit by the artillery, although to be fair, despite the artillery hitting them, they're not actually killing anybody.
No.
That Italian light infantry unit, proving why you need to shatter them, has come back in the forest and is now actually pushing the Russian dragoons away.
Yeah, it's 2 Jaegers there.
Oh no, the Russians and Prussians have accidentally merged their men into a cube. Oh my!
Oh, I just saw that. My goodness.
Prussian musketeers losing 50 men!
6-pounders as well. The Russians still haven't deployed their 12s.
St. Petersburg dragoons going in against the Dragoons de Battalion. Losing their skirmishers, however, to the hussars.
Yeah.
Although that square is going to do some havoc to those Russian cavalry.
Russian all-hands and Prussian heavy cuirassiers pushing on the right.
Prussia,
defend their artillery
please, for the love of everything, thin your lines! You're playing as Prussia! You're a shooting faction! Why are we doing this? You're a shooting faction!
They're going into French.
You're a shooting faction. Your entire army is dedicated to shooting in thin lines. Why are you marching in huge columns?
Oh no, the Russians still haven't deployed a French cavalry breaking from the trees. I don't know what he's doing, to be honest.
Oh, he does get the square off. He gets the square off.
Bad move from the French.
The 12-pounders are now centimeters from the 4-pound horse artillery, which is currently unlimbering in the face of the enemy.
You could take that surely shot.
The only 12-pounder that is actually in a
Prussian
correct
Cuirassier charge.
position.
Oh, sorry, Dan. Prussian Guard de Corps on the left.
Oh,
charging head first into a. Oh dear, infantry of a line. Is he going to form square? Yes, he is. Oh, he's not going to get that square off. Oh, yes, he is. Very nicely done from the French player.
I see it now. He has collapsed allied.
Massive on the left, Dan. Russian cavalry piling into
12-pounder has been killed by a dragoon battalion.
Oh my goodness.
This is how you do a charge. Well played to the French. They've put the clone to attack in, admittedly an expensive unit. However, because he's put them in, it's allowed his Cuirassier de Reserve to charge into the melee and get there.
Dragoon getting a rear charge could break the Russians. Oh, but it looks like that clone attack.
Oh, a Russian countercharge. The dragoon's battalion being in the back.
What's he doing? He's throwing light infantry in there. He does not need to be doing that. Here comes the Russian Cuirassier on the right hand side, on the left.
I think I don't think he's going to win the melee. I think he's doing this charge to break the enemy, which is exactly what is happening.
Oh, that Chevalier battalion could get a lovely lance charge in the rear there.
Oh, battalion de Sars in the back as well, killing a 12-pounder.
The entire unit is dead.
On the left here, the French cavalry have broken 3 units of Prussian cavalry and are open. The 12-pounder reserve artillery is open now.
I see that. Very nice.
The Prussians piled into 1 light cavalry unit, didn't spread out the charge at all, and so they just got routed by development.
Oh, on the other hand though, strangely the cavalry in the house are currently engaging with the 19th Battalion of Infantry of the line, and they are winning.
A very strange engagement is happening here.
Cavalry in the house, to be fair, those infantry would have probably
men are running,
quite confused. This is an absolute slaughter on this right side though, from the French honestly.
Reserves.
Oh, the Lithuanian Guard fighting to the last. 55 men before they shatter.
Russian 12-pounder still hasn't been deployed.
It's still standing still. However, it looks like possibly a frontal charge in the centre,
Yeah, big push in the middle.
Although it will be stopped by some Chevaliers who are not going for the infantry. They're trying to go for that artillery.
Huge attack in the middle.
And it's not working. The Chevalier being caught out by the infantry, however.
Oh dear, Dan. The Prussian 12-pounder reserves are about to die.
Oh no! And the skirmishers in front of them.
For some reason, he's pulled his skirmishers back here. I think maybe to put a stake line in and then didn't do it.
The artillery is very dead.
Dear. The other Prussian 12-pounder not looking good.
That is a very expensive investment. But what I will say though is, well done to the French players. They've done
a fantastic job.
One hell of an attack. They saw the weakness in the Russians, and what they've done is they flanked around both sides with their cavalry and massacred them. And surprisingly enough, going against Russia, you wouldn't really expect a charge, but being able to get their cavalry behind the Russians and hit them from both sides with cavalry, and they've essentially killed the left side of the entire Russian army. And another 12-pounder
that Russian 12-pounder still hasn't deployed in it, but again, I think he's trying to get a hit on it with that Chevalier, without hitting the square, but the Russian 4-pounder in the middle needs to deploy it, so the 12-pounder needs to deploy.
Our men are running, sir!
I think what this is showing, if anything, is that these players, these French players, are players that turned up for practice matches. They got some practice in, and it is really showing off because they have...
you can see the reserve line of the French as well, being able to plug gaps. The Russians, because they were so packed tightly together, and the Prussians as well, did not have a reserve line, and now have no reserves.
And they've gone for full frontal charges into men that are ready. They're charging into grenadiers as well.
Yeah, I've just seen that on the left as well. Prussia charging into melee with French troops, and there's French 6-pounders in the rear waiting to deploy.
Yeah, and
French
the
cavalry now running amok.
Battalion running in as well.
Yeah. The Prussians just breaking.
Oh no! At least the
disaster.
But a little bit of a misplay from the French in the back. They've got 3 units of cavalry that are exhausted charging from the other side of the map. But
Yeah, not sure what they're doing.
It has been less than 20 minutes on this battlefield, and the majority of the coalition armies have been crushed in a blitzkrieg of a charge, if I do say so myself.
Where is the French reserve to Prussia? I'm looking for it. Is it dead? What's happening?
Oh, the last gun in that 12-pounder is about to get killed by some hussars.
Don't understand what the Russians were doing with that. It's very odd play there, moving their guns forward and then just not deploying them. It was a mistake, probably.
Yeah, I think the micro might have just got them a little bit.
Just get them firing, as you said to me the other day. Just get the guns firing. The worst they can do is miss, you know.
Yeah, exactly.
Rather than not fire at all. Russian breaking in the middle from a lovely 4-pounder shot. Those 4-pounders really coming into their own.
Yeah, really working.
Firing.
Yeah. I mean, that is the value of a quick-firing gun. Yeah, it didn't do a lot of damage early game, but it is really getting its worth in now.
Yeah, it's that morale shock that gets the break, and that could be the tipping point in the front line break.
Very clearly a well-planned assault.
Ooh,
I'm seeing that.
Apart.
They're getting cross-fired.
Yeah.
Nasty.
Oh my goodness! Look at how much reserve crash.
Yeah, this is
and stuff.
gorgeously planned assault from the French, despite having low numbers and one army being almost entirely comprised of light infantry.
I think they outnumbered the French in infantry at least, and then just didn't deploy them.
Didn't deploy them, and also not only did they not deploy them, the men they did deploy were in thick chunks, and their cavalry were so heavily outmaneuvered. Admittedly, yes, whatever cavalry engagements they would have went for, they would have probably lost. But like, I mean, just down to the fact that the French have such good cavalry and they had such a large number of them. But like, and the French being able to flank around the enemy like this and catching the enemy, I mean, the Russians were doomed from the start with that charge. And then on the other side, at the exact same time as that's happening, the French do the same on the other side, crush the Prussians.
Look on the right hand side, a Prussian foot guard just deploys straight in front of Chasseur unit.
And it's very tired as well. Cavalry charging it. Do they form square? They don't form square.
And that Chasseur unit's just going to start pouring fire into them with this incredible speed.
They're very tired as well. It's not going to go well. The Prussians...
He needs to hold them in position. Yeah,
the Prussians in some very thick lines.
Ooh.
Going up there. Oh, they've got like 10 men firing against the entire French front line.
Yeah.
If you look at the map from... like, if you actually look at the mini-map, you can see just how effective this is. Despite being outnumbered in manpower, the French have outflanked the enemy on both sides so heavily that they're now completely encircled in the middle of the map.
All they need to do is spread out. All they need to do is spread out. Like, why over the thick? I mean, it's definitely an NTW3 thing. Must be, because I've seen that before and it works well in that game. But like in this mod, we don't. It's unwise.
Mod, what I like to say is that it's the common sense angle where, in mods like NTW3, you have units that are super chunked up, and you have to do that just because that's like morale. But the thing is, that doesn't really make any sense, because it was part of the French doctrine that eventually became the doctrine for every army, that you would have 3 lines of men.
We have killed their general, sir.
General died.
Oh, a general gets shot by artillery, but I mean,
it's really, it
he's
doesn't
on the front
matter
line
at this point either way. But
yeah.
Oh, the Prussian general too.
I think it was the same cannon shot.
One shot killing 2 generals. To be fair, it was only a matter of time for that general with the amount of cavalry behind it as well.
I don't think it was an intentional shot.
Yeah, it probably wasn't an intentional shot.
Imagine trying to get enfilade like that lined up.
Yeah, but as a bit of a common sense rule, yeah, NTW3 have really thick lines for some reason. But like, it was part of the French doctrine, and most doctrines of the time, to have 3 lines, you have 2 lines firing and 1 in reserve, and like for ranks.
Yeah.
So it doesn't make any sense to have a unit that is 10 ranks deep going up against a thin line against them, because you're just going to get mowed to shreds.
Yeah.
But yeah, we are seeing the end of this battle, and it's only been 25 minutes. It really has not been a close one. I mean,
Russia's
fair play,
completely enveloped here.
it's clear to see that one of these sides hasn't had as much practice as the other with the mod or even the game. But it is important to say, we didn't really say it in the last battle either, but these are new players, and most of these players haven't played Napoleon Total War. Definitely most of them haven't played the mod. So it is worth saying that this is it's a good attempt from them for never really playing this before. They're clearly going up against a team that put a lot more time in, put a lot more practice in, worked more as a team. Obviously, this feels like a very well-planned, coordinated assault that it shows that they have teamwork. They have done stuff in the past, and they know how to fight together.
Especially their army picks as well. The light infantry picks was definitely a good play for them. Getting that fast firing.
I've just seen 2 Russian units.
Oh my gosh!
Absolutely slammed by 2 different artillery pieces.
I don't think he's going to let these Russians escape.
No, these Russians are going to die. They're going to make sure that they do. But yeah, no, it's this is a very strong team that we are seeing right now. This is definitely possibly a semi-finalist team.
Yeah, maybe.
Very effective. I mean, look at this. Very, very well planned assault. Amazing to watch.
Yeah, the lines are relatively thin.
If you hold space as well, you can see them slowly shifting their units one by one around them. It's very well done.
Tigersharkwoo in front of his infantry there. It's not shooting them in the back, but yeah, he's doing fine. Apart, I mean, there aren't really anything they can do wrong now, but he's even moving his 6-pounder up to give some canister support, which is fantastic. And these Prussians aren't even firing anymore. Half of them are just like getting shot in the face, and then
the Prussia guard dies. It does not surrender.
Lovely Chevalier charge there, just breaking 2 Prussian infantry. He's going to carry on down the line. He might even get this Allied Prussian musketeer. If he does, is he going to get the last one?
Oh wow! 5 units of Prussians killed by a Lancer.
Looks like Jaeger can't be too far behind as well.
Funnily enough, the thinnest lines we've seen yet from the Prussians, and it's because they've been massacred and they don't have any men left in the units.
Interestingly, the French using dragoons are a bit different.
I was going to say that.
Using them to take the square down quite effectively, actually.
Yeah, doing a very solid job. Wow, I've never really seen that. That is very cool.
No. They were using them earlier behind their lines as well to get some nice shots at the Prussians when they were manoeuvring. Russian Guard battalion hold on to the last man. But I mean,
Russians still getting
artillery
it's really showing the strength of the redoubts right now, because despite having men in front of the guns that they have to fire over, because they're on that redoubt, that slight elevation, it's an angle, so they're able to hit the Russians without taking many casualties themselves. In fact, I don't think they've hit themselves once with their own artillery. And there we go. In go the Grenadiers. Oh, and
a double-sided hit there on that.
Another hit.
Oh my gosh!
Hitting
lovely targeting as well.
Yeah,
he hasn't hit a single unit as he pulls that gun through.
And the thing is, as well, is you can tell this is an experience with the artillery, because if you hold space, you can't see any red lines connecting to the units. They've clicked on the ground. They have manually chose where to fire those guns for the maximum amount of damage instead of just right-clicking the unit.
Yeah.
Wow, what a massive slaughter.
So different to game 1. He's actually going to lose this French 4-pounder artillery here. Oh wait, maybe he gets a canister off. Oh, not quite. To a Russian Jaeger company, but I mean, yeah, the Russians just gone. They actually survived that artillery piece. Russians have just broken completely. Game. I think that's game, gentlemen.
Well
I think the French absolutely wiped the field.
That's game, yeah. 890 losses for one of the armies. Ooh. That is insane. This is probably one of the most one-sided battles I think I've seen in a while. That was... It wasn't even... it was mainly down to, I think, the Russians and Prussians, they did have a slew of mistakes that they made. And that just comes down to experience and, you know, muscle memory with the mod. But even, like, counting that, it was just, like, even counting the fact that they are new to the mod, and, you know, they did... like, for their level of experience with this, that I'm assuming, they did quite well for that. But even counting for that, the ferocity of that French attack was so well planned and effective. It
was good, and the light infantry really helped get that moving quickly with their fast firing and the faster movement. And I think the Russians just blobbed up their cavalry, went into the forest with cavalry, and got wiped by an Italian light infantry unit, which you can see right at the top of the kill count. Yep. They got 392 kills.
Wow. Yeah, the Cuirassier de Reserve, 308. You can see the effect of that cavalry. Each of them getting about 300 kills.
So good. Yeah, and look at this. Lancers getting ridiculously high kills.
Yeah, and
Might have been
Lancers...
some other rundown units, but it doesn't really matter.
Lancers famously not well known for fighting units.
High kill count. Yeah.
Yeah, but that is... Wow, that was a very interesting battle.
Yeah, I mean...
Any parting words in that one, Tom?
It's just a massacre, isn't it?
That was a
I think the Prussians had better shooting infantry, and they blobbed up into almost a square rather than a line. Like, they were so tightly packed. I mean, I liked the choice of the 3 12-pounders reserves. That was good. But the problem was they didn't protect them, and they didn't actually... They were getting some good shots on the French, but the Prussian infantry just let them down, unfortunately. The Prussian cavalry weren't strong enough to face the French. And then the Russian artillery was just bizarrely pulled up into the line, which is great. And it wasn't deployed the entire game. Just get them firing.
It's especially disappointing to see that on a map that has dedicated artillery redoubts.
Yeah.
To see 12-pounders be walked into range of 4-pounders and then left to die.
We were saying at the beginning, weren't we, like, this French 4-pounder pick is dangerous because the Russian has long-range artillery. They can snipe them quite easily. The Prussians had them. The Prussians had a good idea. I think their infantry just let them down.
I mean, the Russians and Prussians brought exclusively long-range artillery. So what that battle really should have been, in best-case scenario, would have been the Russians would have held a far further back line, probably holding their line from like the little river pockets in the left to that artillery redoubt in the middle. Some 12-pounders on that, and then they could have had the Prussians in very thin lines going to the next redoubts where their 12-pounders were, and they have full coverage of the battlefield. Plus, their 12-pounders massively outranging those 4-pounders. Those 4-pounders would have been completely out of range and would have been shot to pieces. And
technically, that was 4 Prussian 12-pounders because of the 3 guns. So it's a lot.
Actually, it's more than that. I think it was 3 guns. That's technically they brought 3 units of it.
Oh yeah, so it's more.
So it's more than that. Yeah, technically it counted as 3 units of artillery, but then they have that extra one as well. So that counts as like 5, nearly 5 units of artillery.
Nearly 5, 1 gun off.
Yeah,
it's a disaster for the Prussians there. But I mean,
it really just came down to how thin the lines were, and it was the choice of the Prussians and Russians to be super tightly compacted to the point that even though they had similar manpower, the French just outflanked them on both sides and encircled them. It was actually counting for the cavalry as well. To be fair, the French would have been outnumbered infantry-wise. Yeah. So despite being outnumbered infantry-wise, this feels like something you'd watch on YouTube where it's like, you know, land's greatest masterpiece, and it's like one of those battle top-down ones that Chris does, where it's like, the Russians tightly compacted, massive blunder from them, and it's the French sweep around the flank. But yeah, no, that was a well-fought battle. But two French victories back to back. I mean, are different teams, obviously, but it's very good. It's very funny because I got someone messaging me recently saying that they thought French was underpowered, but so far we have seen 3 French victories back to back now.
Yeah. Will anyone be able to overcome them? Oh yeah, of course, the French First Republic taking the first victory there. Yeah, I mean, maybe it's unbalanced, but I don't think so.
Symbolically, the first French Republic taking the first victory. But we have seen a France in every single one of these battles now, and also a Russia in every single one of these battles now. And it's a real shame seeing a Prussia deploy like that, because Prussia is one of my favorite factions. They are so fun to watch in a gunfight just because of how quickly they reload, but that really was not used. But yeah, I feel like there's not a whole lot more we can really say about this battle.
Yeah, good game to both sides. I mean, it's a tough fight. We can easily nitpick it from here, but when you're in there, I mean, I made a terrible mistake when I was assaulting the Russian position with demi brigade, so I know how it is. Trust me.
Yeah. I mean, the difference is you have been playing this for like nearly a year.
Yeah. So
But, I mean, you are still a moron sometimes. Actually.
Oh wow.
All the time. You're always a moron.
Well, I learned it from the best. So,
Thank you.
Yeah.
To be fair, like we were saying it in the last replay, Tom, you don't make mistakes because I'm in every battle you're in, and I get so angry when I see you doing something stupid.
Yelling at me.
Yeah, because see, if this was you wheeling those 12-pounders up, you would have been able to hear me from all the way over there in America.
Discord, yeah.
You would have been able to hear me over there in America. I'd be yelling at the top of my lungs, "Unlimber your guns, for the love of God!
Spread out!
Spread out!" But no,
yeah, what they should have done is pull back half a line and put it into a second line. Or at least something like that, I don't know.
Yeah, when you're seeing a battle where one of the French armies gets 3,000 kills and 800 losses, you know something's going wrong.
I think Russia tried to go into a shooting match with a French light infantry corps with heavy cavalry. It's just like, I think it couldn't have gone worse for them with no artillery support from Russia. I mean, like, gosh, it's just
if anything, you're
opposite of the faction strength.
Yeah. They went for super thick chunks, which is what you kind of do with Russia, although not that thick. They didn't have any reserves at all. And they tried to go into a shooting match with light infantry that are French. And they would have, even without that cavalry attack, they would have still lost. But see, the thing is as well, the most annoying part of this, I shouldn't say annoying, but the worst part of this is that if the Russians didn't have as thick lines as they did, even when I'm playing as Russia, I don't bring, when I bring my when I bring my units, I don't even put them in thick chunks. I put them in the same thickness as every other unit. But see if they had thinned their lines out and they'd put their elites in the back line as reserve and they had reserve units, the cavalry attack would have never happened because the cavalry would have had to run into a line of men that could have formed square while the front line dealt with the charge.
Yeah.
But obviously...
Yeah, and very strangely as well, they didn't deploy any infantry in the woods, so they had no infantry support there, and the cavalry just swept through that wood and just came out and hit them in the flank. And Russia had good guard cavalry, but just didn't use it.
Really didn't stand to the French. Yeah, it was a great choice from the French. I was a little bit doubtful of their armies at the start, but although slightly unconventional, I would say the Russians and Prussians surprisingly brought the most conventional FCN armies. The French brought some very, very effective armies in the end, and they saw the weaknesses in the enemy and they tore them apart for it. But yeah.
Well, there we go. I'll let you go, Mr. Stan, but that's an epic replay. We'll see you guys again next time.
We'll see you guys next time.